Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Dr. P. Welcome back today for another Fortnite video. Thanks so much for stopping back by the channel. Oh, there have been so many developments since yesterday. Just one day is all it took for there to be even more news about the sphere above Polar Peak, the Ice King, and so much more, guys. You're definitely going to want to stick around all the way to the end on this one. Make sure to go ahead and drop a like on the video and subscribe if you're new and join the Fruit Faction today. Huge shout out to everyone using my supported creator code. Here are just a couple that tweeted me screenshot proof. If you want a shout out in the next video, just do like these guys did and send me a screenshot. So I want to start out with something a little smaller, talking about an update Epic did to the map at Tilted that seems to signal what's to come. So if you take a look at the building, the one that always gets destroyed in Tilted, you can see very clearly it is still standing. It has just been rebuilt. However, that is not reflected on the map. You can see it looks like a giant black space, a blank area. All of the other buildings in Tilted have that, sense of depth, sense of, it goes down a little further, and there's a whole building here, but this actually just shows a black layer where this building was or where it is currently. And obviously the roof isn't black like on the map says, it's metallic and it's kind of silver looking, and that's not reflected either. To me, this signals that this building is yet again going to get destroyed in the future. It's been kind of an ongoing joke, it gets destroyed by one thing or another over the course of the past seasons, and it gets started to be rebuilt and then something breaks it. And just finally, when it does get rebuilt, it looks like that trend is going to continue and something else is going to break it. It looks like Epic has teased before our very eyes the future of Tilted, at least in a small, possibly insignificant way. Go and check the map for yourself and see if you see the same thing I see, and with that said, let's move on to the next thing. If you watched my previous video, you'll know all about the ice sphere over Polar Peak, and you'll know that it was possible to see the Ice King if you walked up to the orb and held a structure through it. Well, you can still do that, but now you can just straight up see the Ice King himself. No tricks, no gimmicks. Go into the game, build up to this sphere, and then you can see him very easily. Even easier when you put down a structure inside of the ball. You don't even have to see only his lower half anymore. You can clearly see his entire body is inside of the sphere. It looks like that leak with him holding something and, glowing was no joke. So at this point, it is basically confirmed that the Ice King is playing a huge role for the rest of Season 7, at least in regards to map changes and the storyline. I've been waiting to see when he would actually become a real part of the storyline, because in seasons past, the Tier 100 skin has been kind of lacking in the storyline, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case anymore, with the Ice King making a very clear and obvious appearance inside of the Ice Orb. Recently, the Season 7 Week 7 challenges just went live, and as such, the Week 7 loading screen became available to us. As you can see on screen here, it shows the Ice King inside of his castle, sitting on his throne. It looks like he was frozen in ice. I mean, his feet are submerged in ice, as well as his elbows, so it looks like he is pretty startled, to say the least, and he doesn't really know what's going on. And that is basically 100% supported when you get the description of this loading screen. It's basically just the Ice King talking one-on-one with us, which is very interesting. This was tweeted at me by my boy Taylor, and basically the description of the loading screen says, "Why am I awake? The ice was never supposed to thaw." So it looks like our suspicions may be confirmed inside of this description. It looks like the ice was never supposed to thaw on the castle. It was never supposed to be revealed. Possibly even the iceberg arriving at this island may have been a mistake, contrary to what we had believed this whole time. If that's true, which it looks like it very well may be, that is changing all sorts of beliefs that we had about this season, and it just goes to show you, you never really know anything with Epic Games, because they will throw a curveball at you so incredibly quick, and it basically changes everything we were thinking. One of the main theories about the iceberg and the Ice King is that they arrived here on purpose to destroy or take over, invade, something like that, based on what we saw in the cutscene when the season was first introduced. But now we learn ice was never supposed to thaw, so this couldn't have been their main destination. This must have been them going off course and randomly colliding with our island. So who is the Ice King, and why all of a sudden is he in the sphere above Polar Peak? Well, as I said in yesterday's video, it does appear as though that ball is summoning a lot of snow, a lot more snow than we were used to seeing around that area. And also, I showed you in yesterday's video, the TVs were lighting up again with a warning broadcast about an incoming blizzard. Well, we've got a little bit more on that for you today. Just moments ago, the TVs updated again with a countdown timer of 2 days. At the time I'm recording this video, it's still at about a day, 23.5 hours. On the bottom of the screen, it says the words bread and milk sold out. If you couple this with what we saw on yesterday's TV, essentially it looks like there's an extremely powerful and massive blizzard / ice storm on the way. We haven't seen a countdown timer like this in so long. It may have been since the rocket launch in Season 4. To me, this is the kind of thing Epic really needs to keep doing because it gets me extremely hyped and excited for what's to come, and it gets the community buzzing, talking about what could be happening. But regardless, it looks like we have 2 days until something absolutely massive is going to happen. Probably the next step in the storyline. That's going to give us a lot more clarity, a lot more information about what's actually going on. My guess is this countdown timer, along with the storm that's coming, has everything to do with the Ice King in his sphere. Like I said before, it's easy to notice a surplus of snow coming right out of that sphere, and it looks like he is quote-unquote waking up as suggested by Donald Mustard's tweet, as well as the loading screen's description. So back to the Ice King really quick. Obviously, the ice was not supposed to thaw, so what now? What is he doing? It looks like he was in some sort of a deep slumber or frozen or something like that, but due to unfortunate circumstances, he has been awoken. My question is he angry about it? I mean, maybe he didn't come to the island on purpose, but now that he's here and now that he's awakened, he's just gonna unleash havoc on everyone here? Maybe he was so angry after getting woken up against his will that he instantly used his ancient powers to create the sphere and bring in the ice storm to punish everyone on the map. So now let's talk about this blizzard. When I first saw the TV notification yesterday, I went and looked out in that direction thinking if the storm is on the way, then we would be able to see it. Maybe it was doing the same thing as the clouds in the iceberg did in Season 6, teasing Season 7. Sure enough though, there is no cloud, no sign of any storm out in the distance, at least as I record this video. Yet the timer says there are less than 2 days until it actually arrives. That means the storm is moving very quickly and probably will not linger over the island. With fast winds and a high-moving storm, that is why I think it's going to be a blizzard, maybe heavy snowfall and heavy snow buildup over the course of a week or so, and then maybe the storm moves out. My guess is the entirety of the rest of the island gets filled up with snow, and we're gonna get some heavy snowfall added on top of what we already have. It's possible the Ice King could be calling all this snow in to cover the castle back up so he can go back to sleep. Regardless though, I do think we're gonna have a heavy storm that doesn't stay that long, maybe a week or two. And this actually perfectly helps to support the flood theory that we've been talking about for so long. If there's even more ice and even more snow all over the map, possibly in copious amounts, it's all gotta go somewhere, and that could create flooding hazards for certain areas, possibly even the entire map for Season 8. There have been numerous aquatic hints anyway, it fits in perfectly. It's been brought to my attention that the Golem statue near Tomato Temple has actually changed. If you recall before, it actually had its hands in its head, sobbing. Now it looks like he's ready to fight. It looks like he's in a stance, ready to fight, as I break off his hand right there. But definitely, this has been a change. It looks like he's gone from sobbing, feeling sorry about himself, to being ready to fight and defend what's his. Possibly a sign of what's to come. Near the edge of Wailing Woods, there is another statue that has recently formed. It is a female golem who has just about the same exact fighting stance. Looks like she's ready to fight, ready to get down with it. I'm excited to see what all this means. I'm definitely curious about the whole Ice King event. We have 2 days to go until some huge monumental event goes down in Fortnite, and I'm super excited about it. Make sure you drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are brand new, and make sure to turn on those notifications if you are a trooper. I really appreciate you watching today's video. I'll keep you updated if anything at all changes within the game. Make sure to keep an eye open, and I'll catch you in the next one.